Okay, so this is the second part of the Suzie Smith cover letter. We have already done the letterhead, the date, the inside address, our salutation, and this is the first sentence of our first paragraph. The rest of what goes in the first paragraph is mentioned here. We've talked about what goes into the second paragraph. All right, so the third paragraph, so third and option 7. In the third paragraph, you're going to describe your interest in the company. If I could type today, that'd be great. Okay, you're going to subtly emphasize your knowledge about this firm, which of course is the result of all of your research that you've been doing. So you're going to subtly emphasize your knowledge about this firm and your familiarity with the industry. You should present yourself as eager to work for any company which you interview with. Just make sure that you end up sounding eager and not desperate. Okay, fourth paragraph. So fourth option 7, fourth paragraph. With your fourth paragraph, I want you on the employment of cover letters. I want you to start out by saying, I will call you. In other words, you don't want to say, I'll look forward to hearing from you. Makes it sound like, oh, you'll be sitting around doing nothing, waiting with bated breath for them to call you. Gives all the power to them, and the ball is in their court for them to do something with. If instead you start your fourth paragraph, as I have said, with I will call you on, or I will call you during the week of December 24th, then when you call, not only can you get through because the gatekeeper, you tell the gatekeeper, oh, so-and-so is expecting my call. Now, the gatekeeper a lot of times would be the secretary, whether it's the department secretary, whether it is Mr. Last Name's secretary. It doesn't matter, but their job is to screen all calls and make sure only the important calls for their boss, for the hiring manager, for whichever position you're sending this to make sure only the important calls get through to that person and that person is not inundated with a lot of useless calls that their processes would normally filter out. But when you call, by putting this in your letter, when you call and little Mary Jones answers the phone, the secretary Mary Jones answers the phone, you can respond to her by saying, I'm looking for Mr. Last Name. He's expecting my phone call. And take it from there. Now, in actuality, you're not lying. He should be expecting your phone call because you told Mr. Last Name that you'd be calling him during the week of. So that you're just following through. You're following up on a letter and doing as you had mentioned in the letter. And so you can get past that gatekeeper by saying, he should be expecting my call, or he is expecting my call. So the fourth paragraph of your cover letter should start out with, I will call you. By doing this, this makes you sound proactive, or you are being proactive. And that's what you want. People don't want to hire people who just sit back and wait for the world to happen to them. Okay, so the rest of your fourth paragraph, option 7. Okay, so in the closing paragraph, these are your other business letters. You should specifically request an interview. You will only get what you ask for. You'll never get what you never ask for. So if you don't ask for an interview, they won't be so inclined to just offer one to you. Okay, you want to make sure that you include your phone number and the hours when you can be reached. Alternatively, you just might prefer to mention that you will follow up with a phone call to arrange an interview at a convenient time within several days, not weeks. Now, by starting out for a cover letter, by starting out saying, I will call you on, or I will call you during the week of, or I will call you the third week of, by starting out that way, you can continue on with what it has here in the parentheses, because you're not going to follow up twice. You're just going to do it once. So start out saying, I'll call on this date up here, so that you can arrange an interview at a mutually convenient time. All right. So we're almost, wrong direction. Okay, so we're going to hit the enter key twice, and we're going to put in our complimentary closing, sincerely, and you're going to leave 3 or 4 blank paragraph marks, and you're going to type your name. So Ms. Suzie Smith. Some places have you put a job title here. If you have a job title, it should be at the top in your letterhead. So all you should have to have is your name typed, Suzie Smith. Now, one thing you do want to make sure that you have with this cover letter, you're going to be including a resume. So you want to make sure that you have an enclosure notation. So enclosure, if you have more than one, you might list it. But for now, we're going to leave it as this. Now, you notice that mine ran onto another page. Remember to manipulate how your text fits onto your document here. We're going to go to Format Document. And just to make sure, I'm going to do 0.75, 0.75, 0.75. So I've got a 1-inch top margin and 0.75 for my bottom right and left margins. And then I'm going to hit OK. And now you see we fit beautifully onto one page. Let me see my typo. All right, so that you interview with. I just fixed this was a grammatical issue, so I just fixed that too. That you interview with. Okay, so once you have all this in here, you're going to verify all the information. And after you formulate exactly what you are going to say in these paragraphs, print it off. Let somebody read it. Let 2 people read it. If you just try to edit your own letter that you've just finished typing, your brain is going to fill in the blanks that are left by the letter itself because you know what you're trying to say. So get it checked by a couple of people. And then your cover letter and your resume will be put in an envelope, which we will talk about next. Let's see, we do need to, though, run a spell check. Now, anytime, it just doesn't know it. It's not in the dictionary, so we're going to say ignore. First name, again, we're just going to ignore this because it just doesn't know how we spell our last names here, so ignore again. Yep, okay. Okay. That's fine. Okay. All right. So good luck with your cover letter, and meet me in the interview organizer and envelope video, and then we'll be done. So I'm going to save this, and that's all there is to it.